Congratulations on entering the Cash Navigator. I am so excited for you. I want to say congratulations because you have not only published your book, but you have become the type of person who is going to use that book to create money momentum in your life and get to your revenue destination. You have done something that plenty of people who wanted to write a book never do. Only 3%, yes, 3% of the authors who began, or the writers who began creating a book, actually finish and become the type of person who can say that they are an author. So if you're in the 3%, give yourself a hand clap. But on the other side of the 3%, do you know how few authors actually take on the perspective of entrepreneurship and decide, hey, I'm not just in this to say that I'm an author. I'm in this to make some money. So I'm so proud of you. Congratulations for being in the room. Today is not only going to be a fun time, not only are you going to enjoy yourself, but I promise you, you're going to create some really fantastic movement in your book business and in your life. You're going to create so much excitement for yourself over the next 15 to 20 minutes as I do what I do and give my little spiel. But then you're also going to actually get action steps. Say that 1,000 times fast. But yes, you're going to leave this with a GPS system that will actually take you to your next money landmark. And I'll talk about what a money landmark is, what revenue destinations are. We'll talk about all of that. But I want you to understand, this is not just a talking head video. This is not just me being excited and giving you a bunch of details. This is actually a system that if you activate just this free training alone, you will not only make your business better, but you will also start to see income in your business. So listen, I got some things happening, some technical things. I'm waiting for my slides to load. But while I do that, I want to give you a little bit of information about the landscape that you are in as an author. We are in some different times, okay? Back in the day when infopreneurship became the thing, everybody would tell you, oh, you just need to write the book and people will come, or write the book and make sure that you post about it on social media and then people will buy it. Or, the ever famous pay for ads. Well, in this day and age, there are people publishing books so often that you might find yourself up against 15, 20 other authors who are leveraging ads on KDP or utilizing Facebook or Instagram ads to get to the same audience that you're going to target. And so you've got to get really, really clear on what actions to take and when, so that you're not finding yourself on a hamster wheel, okay? One of the things that I find the most frustrating, and I'm just going to be really honest, one of the things that I find the most frustrating. Okay, cool. I got my slides going. One of the things that I find so frustrating is when I go on an author's Facebook page or their Instagram page, or even their website sometimes, and the title of their book is available, or maybe the link to their book is there. Or maybe even they're just claiming that they're an author and there's no link to a book anywhere. But there's nothing other than they're saying that they're an author, and maybe even just one post about their book that actually proves that they're the type of person that you should listen to. And so one of the things that you're going to get as we go through this process, and as I teach you how to be the type of person that will turn your book into a cash navigator, is I'm going to really challenge the way that you think about yourself and your book. You are an entrepreneur. If you wrote a book, you started a business, and you need to be treating your book that way so that you can have success. Okay, y'all, I have rambled on long enough. My slides are ready, so let's really get into the thick of things. Okay, again, welcome to the Cash Navigator. I'm going to show you how to make your book a cash navigator. Again, we're going to talk about your money landmarks and your revenue destinations, and it is going to be real, real good, as the people say. So, who is this lady that's been rambling for about 3 minutes? My name is Marquila. I am the CEO of The Faith Edit. I took writing as a natural talent from high school as the op-ed section editor, all the way through Howard University, my alma mater, where I started an online magazine and publishing books my sophomore year of college. What I found in 2011 was that I could utilize these skills to make my life filled with excitement. I could do things to prove that I actually had value. And I've always known that writing was my ticket. But if I could just air myself out, I did not know how to make money. And I for sure was not clear on the process of actually making a book a cash navigator. So in 2017, I wrote a book. That book was great, but it didn't make any money. And about 5 years later, I went to the Lord frustrated. Like, what do I do? How am I supposed to do this, God? What am I doing? Because I'm a teacher and I don't like it. And he told me that I was already a confidence coach to my writing clients. And when I learned to step into the fullness of my system that I had written about in 2017, when I learned to become a leader in my own life, then I learned how to take my book and turn it into a cash navigator. There's a bunch of other stuff on my bio that you can read there. And while those things absolutely make me a fantastically aware and adept leader, nothing else equips me more to teach you how to make your book a cash navigator than the fact that I have already made my book a cash navigator. I've already been where you are. I've already had a book that was crickets, not making any money. I already did the things that you're doing, posting on social media way too much, struggling to try to figure out what's next, throwing spaghetti at the wall. I've already done all those things. And I have seen how, number one, they demotivated me, made me even less confident than I already was, and made it even more difficult for me to feel comfortable about the woman that I needed to be in order to actually impact the world. So here's a couple of housekeeping things. This course or webinar, I can call it a course. It's a lot of information. This webinar comes with a free workbook. You get the workbook just because you're in the room. So go ahead and access that workbook by going to bit.ly/cashnavfree, or you can use the QR code on the screen. I want to make sure that you have access to this because we're going to get into an assessment. And while you may be the type of person who clicked on this video and was ready to go, 9 times out of 10, you click on this video, you push play, and you're doing all these other things. And so I guarantee you're going to want to do this assessment. And so I'm going to make sure that you get access to it and that you have it. Something that you're going to also get from me is a reminder to do it, whether you decide to move on to the next thing with me or not. This is something that can change your book business. And also, let me just go right on ahead and say this. Because I hate when people try to surprise you. I'm going to flip through right now through all this good stuff so that I can get to what we're going to talk about at the end of this. I am not a surprise. Here's something I want to sell you on type of coach. No, I am the type of coach who, if I have something to offer, I just get it out the way first because I don't like BS and I don't do small talk. And also my trainings are so packed that I just don't need to feel bad for letting you know that I'm selling you something. Because I promise you, by the time you're done with this course, you're going to feel like you got way more than whatever it is you paid to get into this room. So you are getting the Money Momentum Map as an offer at the end of this training. This is a 4-week course. It can be 6 weeks if you're the type of person who wants to be VIP, but also if you're the type of person who's really ready for hands-on instruction in your business, VIP is available for you. The course is how you not only take the knowledge that I'm going to give you and apply it, but it is also step by step. It is dripped for a reason because I know the type of people who I serve. I know who I am called to. And so because of that, I know that there are some things that I have to do so that you all have success. So the content is dripped out week by week, and you will get access to them every single Wednesday. When you get the next week information, you will also get a fresh new round of accountability to make sure that you're getting it done. This course is amazing, and I'll talk more about it at the very, very end. But I just needed to make sure that we just got it out the way. Because again, you can see there's a ton of information here. I don't have any fluff for you, and I don't need to waste your time. I'm going to actually stop my presentation for a second so that I can make sure that you're in the right room. You should be here if you are tired of being the type of person who knows that you have a lot in your belly, but you don't know how to get it out. You should be here if you're not interested in spending another calendar year with a list of things on your wish list and too few things with the checks on it done. You are the type of woman who clicked on this because you understood the importance of cash, but maybe you're still trying to navigate what it looks like to be the type of person who will make direct asks or to be the type of person who will actually make money. You may have a ton of limiting beliefs, all these things that are telling you that you don't have the right to go get your money now. And I promise you, while I will give you some nuggets in this training, there is a wealth of information in this world on my social media, on my YouTube channel that can encourage you to stop being the type of woman who is waiting, stop being the type of woman who is playing small, and to go out in the world and live out your assignment. Last thing that I'm going to say before we kind of get into the actual landscape of what you're facing as an author, you don't have any guarantee that you have more time. Maybe you're thinking, oh, but this is happening with my 401k, or this is happening with my job, or I'm too stressed out, it's too much, I can't do this. All of these excuses are just reasons that you are putting in front of yourself that are based on arrogance. And I want you to think about the Cash Navigator, not just as a way to navigate your way through book sales, but a way to navigate yourself out of being arrogant and thinking that you have more time to sell your book. Because what if you don't? What if you only have 2 more weeks, 1 more week, 1 more day to get the message that you put in your book out in the world? Are you going to waste that day, or are you ready to take action? If you're like, man, Marquila, I'm ready to take action, drop me some things in the chat. Let me know that you're ready. So that way I can respond to you, get back to you, and let you know that I'm proud of you for not being the type of person who will be arrogant and think you have more time. We do not have more time. We do not have more time. We do not. Okay, I want to make sure you have this workbook. So I'm going to put this workbook back up while we talk about the landscape. Do you know that most authors never sell more than 200 copies of their book? Do you understand that most authors, okay, never make more than about $2,000 from their book in the life of their book? Most authors spend many years of their life even getting their book in the world. And now with the self-assisted world, the independent publisher, hybrid, and vanity publishers, most authors are spending somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000 just to get their book in the world. Even if you're a DIY queen and you did it all yourself, guess what? Think about the hours that you invested in your book. Now, imagine being the type of person who could say, oh, I sold 200 copies of my book last month. Oh, I made $2,000 from my book in the first 30 days of this quarter. You are going to be that type of woman, but it's only going to happen if you put down distractions, put away the things that could be making you feel like you already know, because that's a distraction too. If you sit here and you're like, oh, I heard that already. Oh, yeah, I took a course on that already. I'm going to stop the slide. Listen, you thinking that you know how to do it is also a distraction. So put your phone on D&D. Okay? Tell everybody in your household, hey, I just need 30 minutes. Because I promise you, I'm not going to talk for more than about 25 more minutes. So give yourself this time. Tell your mind, which thinks that it already knows how to do it, that it doesn't. Tell all of the other webinars that you already took that you didn't actually activate. Please hold. And I want you to open your ears. Here's what we do in my community every time we do a session. And I want you to do this with me because your brain needs to be given instructions. And so I'm not just going to tell you to turn off distractions. I'm actually going to activate your focus system right now. Let's take some deep breaths, okay? We're going to do something called box breathing. Box breathing is when you take a deep breath in to one interval, then you hold for the interval, and then you take a deep breath out and exhale for one interval, and then you do it and you hold for another interval. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to do some box breathing. We're going to inhale to 4. We're going to hold our breath, and then we're going to exhale to 4, and we're going to hold our breath. Why am I making you do this if this is a Cash Navigator course? Because you got to tell your brain that you're ready to be navigated to cash. And one of the best ways to do that is to activate the breath. Okay, so take a deep breath in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Deep breath in. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. When we do this, you should straighten your posture when you exhale or inhale, excuse me. And then you should push your belly button all the way to the back of your spine. Let's do this one more powerful time, and then we can get started. Take a deep breath into the count of 4. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Okay. You might hear my dog rattling around over there. She wants some attention. She's just seeing me stand here and she's like, girl, can you pay me some attention? I will get back to you, girl. I have to give these wonderful people this presentation. Okay, so you should have your workbook, but just one more time to make sure that you have it. Here's the link, bit.ly /nav free. So actually, I will even make sure to drop it in the chat so that you can have it. Okay. All right. So now it's in the chat. And we can go right on ahead. All right. So what is a Cash Navigator and how do you make your book a Cash Navigator? A Cash Navigator is just a system that will take you from having a book into having an entire ecosystem and multiple revenue streams that your book brings in. Okay, a Cash Navigator is just a system that will create an ecosystem. Okay, did you hear what I said? A system that creates an ecosystem. Why does my book need to have an ecosystem? Well, your book needs to have an ecosystem in it because you are not the type of person who was given a message for it to touch 3 people. Okay, and in order for your book to touch more people, you're going to have an ecosystem or a collection, if you will, of ways for people to get access to you and to your message. Okay, what I love about the Cash Navigator is that these 7 different money landmarks, are things that I've known about and I've actually talked about for years. I used to do this training and it was called How to Wring Your Book Dry. But I realized that people were trying to jump all the way to the end of the navigation map. And because of that, they were really struggling, right? Because there is a process, there is a road that you have to go on if you're an author. So this amazing training is going to show you, number one, how to take the self-assessment so that you can figure out where you are and which landmark you should be doing. And it will give you a fantastic GPS system based on the landmark that is perfect for you so that you can take action. The GPS is a goal, plan, and support that will show you action-taking authors how to implement the chosen money landmark and get to their money or their revenue destination. All right, so here are the money landmarks. Book versions, book events and tours, speaking, merch, Facebook groups, online courses, coaching, and consulting. Now, how many of you all have heard the term infopreneur? An infopreneur is someone who takes information and builds a business around it. If you are I'm talking so fast. Let me slow down. If you are an author, then you are absolutely a infopreneur. And you start over here just at the book versions, right? You start over here in book versions, and the goal is to get you all the way to some type of consulting or coaching or some type of service that you can offer that will get you high ticket pricing, right? So the reason why most infopreneurs decide to ultimately become consultants or coaches is because you can very easily charge 4, 5, and even 6 figures for your information. But of course, it does not necessarily have to be consulting that is information based. There are tons of actual services that you can offer connected to your book as well that can kind of be put inside of that tier of consulting. So, what is a money landmark? I want to break this down for you because I know that it's cute language, but it really, there's a point, right? One of the things, I'm a no BS type of person. I don't know how to have these webinars where I spend 20 minutes wasting your time talking about nothing. And I also don't know how to have trainings that do not give you real ways to think about things that will simplify the process of entrepreneurship. How many of us have heard the term income generating activity? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're like, girl, yes, and I never know what that is. Oh my God, it took me so long to really tap down on what the heck is an actual income generating activity. It took me many months of being an entrepreneur that did not know what she was doing to figure out what to do to actually generate income. And so a money landmark is just that. It is a strategic method or income generating activity that will help you make money. And so if you think about these individual things, you can have a book version, right? So think ebook, hardcover, paperback, audiobook, okay? You can have book events, which is like masterclasses. This is an event that is surrounding around a book, which is the Cash Navigator system, okay? Such a fantastic number of things you could do with book events. And I know it might be surprising to think that book events are second, but in this digital landscape, it is really easy for you to curate a virtual event. And if you have the skill set, if you're like, oh, I plan the best taco dinners, right? Everyone loves my tequila nights or Taco Tuesdays, then hello, you may be really good at curating events for your ideal clients or your ideal reader, and you can take those skills and put them to use in your business. All right, so then what is a revenue destination, right? Because again, we're navigating you to the revenue destination. A revenue destination is just a monetization goal, right? It's just that big financial target that you want to hit, and each of the landmarks will help you get to that destination. I don't know why, but every time I talk about this, I think of Dora the Explorer. I don't know what that is, but I think of Dora, and Dora had all of these really fantastic reminders, and then she had an end goal that she was trying to get to, right? And so you're going to use your money landmarks to help you get to your revenue destination. So, for example, if the money landmark that you're working on, let me go back at my slides. The money landmark that you're working on is an online course, right? And you're pushing that online course and you're trying to make sure that people will get access to the online course. What is the revenue destination that is the point at the end, right? Maybe you want to make $20,000 at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, excuse me. Well, then how many money landmarks do you need to hit before you can make that a reality? Okay, so let's keep it going, keep it going. I'm sorry, I keep getting random calls, guys. They're not random. They're people who should be calling me, but I don't know why they don't know. I'm in this session. Okay, so let's talk about the assessment. I'm not going to go through each of the individual questions because I do want you to access the assessment. Here's the link again. I want you to access the assessment. It is so important that you actually do this. And so I don't want to, I don't want to waste my time or waste your time. I don't need to sit here and go through every question. This assessment is going to give you specific questions for each of the money landmarks so that you can help determine which of the landmarks is best for you. Okay, which of the landmarks is best for you? Why do you need to have an assessment? Why can't you just guess? Because I don't think a lot of us actually know what it takes to make things come to fruition. A lot of us, we're very delusional. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. We are delusional, y'all. Or we're just unaware, right? Like we're just ignorant. What you don't know, and there's no way that you can know it because you don't know. So what I love about this assessment is that these questions will actually help you understand how to do a better job of being realistic about what it's going to take to make that money landmark a thing. The individuals who have been in my world who took this assessment, they were like, man, I never thought about this. Right? I never put 2 and 2 together with that. Man, Marquila, thank you. I needed that, right? So this assessment is not just there so that you can kind of throw spaghetti at the wall. The whole point of all of this is to help you stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. So I'm not going to give you more information, right? That's going to make it easy for you to throw spaghetti at the wall. The questions are important to take. They're going to go over each of the 7 money landmarks, and I want you to do it. Okay. Once you've done it, let's talk about this actual process of scoring yourself and what you're going to do when you score yourself. Okay. Side note, let me make sure that I have all my little pieces together. Sorry, guys. Hold on. So when you have done what you need to do to take your assessment, you're going to take those scores. And actually, let me go back and make sure that you can even see the scores. Let me make sure that you can see this. So you see these little boxes here in your workbook? It looks the exact same. You're going to put the tally here. So you're going to mark 1 through 5. If it's like, oh, this is me all the way, absolutely, it's a 5. If it's like, no, that's not me at all, then it's a 1. You're going to take the tallies, and whichever was the landmark that you scored the highest on, okay, the highest, that is more than likely the landmark that is going to be a good fit for you to start. But you have to go in order of the map. So if you scored the highest, okay, for book events, courses, and coaching, don't jump to coaching. Start with the book events, okay? And then that map will show you what to do next. What I love, and I'm really being serious here, guys, so many authors just don't know what to do next. That's why we hop and skip to any opportunities, because we really don't know what we're supposed to do next. And so what's fantastic about this Cash Navigator system is that it will actually show you, here's what to do next. Okay, I had a book event and I want to go to the next level. Well, now I know that I can do a course, right? And these questions are actually really fantastic to show you what to do if you want to move to that next thing. What happens next, okay? What happens next is the big piece here, okay? Now, this is the part that I'm actually going to park the car for a little bit and go over these details, because again, if you're here, I want to make sure that you leave with enough information so that you can win now. Okay, if you're like, I'm ready to win now, listen, type it in the chat. Let me know if it's okay that I just get to the goods and show you all the GPS systems. Y'all ready? Okay, let's get to it. So now that you know all that needs to happen, I do want to share one quick story. Hold on, one quick story. So I have a fantastic sister. She is not just a client. She has become an amazing part of my life. We work together in a ton of ways, but the reason why she's even in my world is because she asked me to edit her book. Now, here's the thing about this beautiful woman. She was already a coach. She already had a coaching community. She already had released the book. Come on, I'm about to listen. I got some information. She'd already released the book, but she wanted to come out with a second edition. In the process of us working on the second edition of her book, I realized that she was really struggling with some of the information around sales and some of the things that she needed to actually be better at her sales. So I infiltrated her life, okay? And I gave her some of the same strategies that are inside of the Money Momentum course and that are following in the GPS system that I'm going to give you. And when I gave her these strategies, here's what happened. She broke her highest revenue record ever and was paid $6,000 in full. And actually, that same person went on to pay her an additional $3,500. So she made nearly $10,000 from listening to the guidance that I have to give you. And I know it's easy to feel like coaches are fluff, that you're going to be sold another dream. But I promise you, I'm not selling you a dream. This stuff works. And if you listen and if you follow the instructions, you will see results in your life too. Okay. So let's get into the first GPS for book versions. Number one, you need to identify the platforms. Maybe you already have an ebook, but now you need to get access to a paperback, or maybe you have a paperback and you have just never actually created an ebook. The first thing that you're going to do is go right on up in these platforms, okay? And ask yourself, what do I need next? So if you already have an ebook and you need to get access to a paperback, you need to go and find professionals, a publishing company like myself, self-assisted coaches who will help and come alongside you and help you format it so that you can actually take that book that's in some other form and make sure that it's inside of and make sure that it's inside of all of the formats that are available. If your book is on any platform and it is a paperback book, I always have to say this, your paperback book should not be less than $20. I don't care how many words it is. I don't care how long ago you wrote it. I do not care what the book cover looks like. It doesn't matter. If your book is on KDP or Ingram Sparks or Barnes & Noble, anywhere in the world online, even if it's on your website, it needs to be $20 or more, because you are an independent author and people need to understand that they have to support you and make it easier for you to ship your book out, make it easier for you to do what you need to do to continue to make revenue. Okay, so book versions are huge. Your ebook should not be priced at less than $9.99. I do not care how long it is. I do not. $9.99, $20, and hardcover should start at $30. $35 is really where I like to sit with hardcover books. Audiobooks are a little bit different. You can charge somewhere between $5 to $8 for an audiobook. But keep in mind, no matter what, you need to be understanding that the more book versions you have, the more you can help people get access to your message. Book events. So your goal, if book events are the thing that the Money Landmark Assessment gives you to do, your goal is to identify events in your neighborhood, in your local environment, right? In your city, in your state, and sign up as a speaker. There are book fairs. There are amazing expos. There are marketplaces, and there are things that you can go and sign up as a speaker or a vendor. Bring your books to the event so that you can sell copies of your book and be a powerhouse. Research conferences, bookstores, even virtual events, guys, and take the time to see yourself as an expert. Create a very simple media kit, which is available on Canva. Okay, I just dropped the mic. Go on Canva and get access to a media kit from Canva, and you can do that for absolute free. And then start pitching yourself, asking these event producers and these planners if you can be a part of their event. If you're like, Marquila, I don't even know how to make a media kit, that's okay. You may need someone to support you. You may need somebody to help you write your pitch or write your speeches even. There are coaches in this world for you. But guess what? You can also get all of this support that I'm going to talk about from the Faith Edit as well. Okay, if speaking is your thing, so book events are a little bit different than speaking, right? So speaking is bigger stages. Book events, think smaller events, but also think about your own events, virtual events that you can put on as well. If you want to be a speaker that's making, 3 to 4 to 5 figures when you're speaking, you need to pitch yourself, and you need to pitch yourself well. So you need to really think about who you are as a speaker. You really need to put on your hat about your message and what about your message you want people to know. And you need to get really, really, really clear, ladies, about what you don't want to be known for. I know so many people who are so busy trying to figure out, oh, well, I want to be the guru of blah, blah, blah. If you can get really clear on what you don't want to be known for, then you can tamp down what you do want to be known for. Excuse me. Design a one sheet. You're going to need a headshot. I know everybody's using AI to make headshots. I'm going to say something that you all might disagree with me for. Your camera on your cell phone is too sophisticated for you to use AI. It is really obvious, and it's also extremely uncomfortable. So don't use AI. Take a picture of yourself, please. All right, research and email and go after it. I actually help my clients create a visibility plan, and in their visibility plan, we craft out what that looks like. Okay, I got to get going. I got to get moving. It's 36 minutes, and I promise you this is not going to take more than 45 minutes. I promise you that I'm like a Baptist preacher, child. I like to get in there and be finished. Okay, let's get through. Number 4, merchandise. Now listen, if you want to do merchandise, your very first goal is to create a sample and get information from your audience. I cannot express this enough. Do not get your little self on Shopify and make 10 items and you haven't talked to your audience. Go ask your audience first. If you take the assessment, you will see there are questions in there that will gauge and help you understand if this is even something for you to do. Then the plan is going to be to identify key themes and quotes, stuff that your people would like from your book on merchandise, and then use a print-on-demand platform. Something like Shopify is amazing. Big Cartel is another really good one that you don't necessarily even have to worry about curating the object. You just need to have really good images. Okay. Last thing is that you are going to need support for fulfillment and also customer service. If you're going to do merchandise, you're going to have some type of policy for return. Merch is not like digital products where you can put a no refund stamp on it and leave it at that. You've got to have a really good system for customer service. Okay, Facebook groups, online coaching, online courses, coaching and consulting. I'm just going to smash these into one so that I can make sure that I move on to this next piece. Your goal for all 3 of these things is, yes, to make the content, yes, to make the group, yes, to make the course, but it's all about who are your early adopters, okay? Right? Who are your early, before you go and make a whole framework, if the framework is already not in the book, if you have to curate something, before you go curate that, find your early adopters. Early adopters are the people who will help you create the framework, help you create the course, help you create the Facebook group. And so while there are some very good things here, that was just a bonus piece of information that I'm sharing with you because it matters. Okay, let's get it going. Let me talk to y'all about this course so I can get out your hair, because I feel like I've been in y'all's hair and I've dropped a lot of gems. I've given a lot of information, but let me knock this out really quick. Y'all listen. Money likes momentum. What is momentum, Marquila? Momentum is action. It's movement. It's you putting foot to pavement and not stopping, not letting fear get in the way, not making excuses, not telling yourself this, that, the 3rd, the 15th, not letting your mama's thoughts and your aunties and uncles and them making fun of you keep you from doing what you have to do to actually be the type of author who people know and who has their message out in the world. The Money Momentum Map for me was a very simple way for me to stop acting like an author who was throwing spaghetti at the wall and to get a system. There's a checklist in the Money Momentum Map. There are consistent ways for you to learn how to do what business is. What is business? It's about lead generation, lead opportunities, and converting them into actual clients. okay? And so week 1, we're going to talk about how to find leads. Week 2, we're going to talk about how to actually create lead magnets that nourish or nurture your clients. Week 3, we're going to talk about how to polish what it is that you've created in systems so that you can actually get sales. And then we're going to talk about how to get feedback from those clients and overcome obstacles in the event that, people say that they need more time or they're not ready to move on to the next thing. We're going to also talk about just creating obstacles or dealing with obstacles in your world. Week 5 is going to be the end for my individuals who are not VIP. You'll get access to Perform, which is going to be a way for you to end out the course. It'll be a before you go module. But for those who will be VIP, you'll start the challenge with a book audit, and we'll do an amazing training called the Threshing Floor, which is going to deal with your limiting beliefs. And we're going to end with an actual evaluation where I come into your situation. Okay, I get nosy and I make sure that you have what you need to make money. And if you have not made money, by the time we get to week 6, I will myself figure out what you need to do in 7 days to put money in your pocket. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Whether you become someone who is in the Money Momentum course or not, whether you're someone who is ready to go and do the whole map so that you can navigate cash to you all the time, you have so much right now. I know I've given you GPS systems and money landmarks and revenue destinations. You have so much in your hand right now. You have your book and you have a clear plan for what to do next. Take it, run with it, and don't make excuses, okay? I love the fact that I just got to spend over 40 minutes with you. I can't say it enough. Thank you for joining me. If you came all the way to the end of the course, you are really an action taker, and use that action taking momentum that you have already started by coming to this training to create some momentum in your world. Oh, I realize I didn't tell you all how much the course costs. Course costs $9.97. You can click the button that's inside of the chat, the button that's here that says join now, so that you can get access to this course, $9.97. It is available on Square, so you guys can do the ForPay through, I believe, Klarna or Afterpay. If you are like, Marquila, I want more, I need more, follow me on social media. I'm going to drop my Instagram here in the chat. You can also find me on Facebook. I am really active on both platforms, Facebook and Instagram. There's a YouTube channel. I'm all over the internet. Okay. I'm all over the internet. So I'd love for you to become a part of my family and join me over on Instagram or on Facebook. I'm going to drop this in the chat for y'all. Again, the course is $9.97. I will say this, I don't typically make my courses cheaper. And when I say I don't typically do it, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I typically make my courses more expensive. And so if you are watching this, you're in a fantastic opportunity to get access to the course for the price that it is now. Do keep in mind that the price is likely to go up by the end of this month. So don't belabor the point. Again, you've already created momentum in your business by being in this training, by staying until the end. Let me do this because since I still have you, if you're still here, you are going to get a fast action bonus. Okay, wait, let me. Okay, I was sitting here and I'm like, well, no, Marquila, if they're here, then listen, let me do this real quick. I'm going to do this real quick. For anybody who is still here, let me see how I can do this real quick for y'all. I'm about to do something for y'all. Since you are still here, if you are still here, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I'm cracking myself up right now because I did not plan this. But if you're still here and you're like, I can't wait to get into the Money Momentum map, and you are like, let's go, I got something for you. Or even if you're like, I don't know if I could do the Money Momentum map, I'm not ready for that yet, I need to go do my assessment. If you're still watching, I'm going to give you a bonus just for being the type of action taker who's moving and who's in momentum. I'm going to drop a link to a freebie lead magnet for you guys, a workbook for the contagious content system that I give my clients so that they can know how to leverage social media. Listen, don't be on the internet letting social media lie to you and make you think that you have to do all this stuff. You do not. You have a very specific system. And since you're still here, since you're the type of person who's an action taker, who stuck to the end, you will get access to that in the chat. Okay, I gotta go. I love you. God loves you. The people who do not love you are none of your business. Get your money.